Alright, so one of the first questions I was asked was how to kill the IS-6, the IS-4M, and the IS-3 using the Tiger 2H. So let's use the shot simulator to go through these. The IS-6 probably has the weakest armor of the few. So we go to Armor, Protection Analysis. We'll go over to Germany, Rank 4, then we'll go down to the Tiger 2H. Alright, so first things first, upper glacis, it's basically immune to the ammunition here, lower glacis as well. You can go for the gun, it's got a pretty big breach on it, so that's easy to hit. You can also go for the tracks, of course. The gun breach here is kind of hit or miss. As you can see in some places here is yellow or red, it's a pretty small target. There's also the cupolas here. Those are smaller targets, but I think they're a little easier to deal with in the gun shield most of the time. See, as you can hit both of them, it'll reasonably kill a tank. If you do have a bit of a flank on the vehicle, though, the gun shield becomes a much better target to shoot at. And there's also the side of the turret if you give that just a bit more of an angle. Basically, right near where this gun breach is where you'd want to shoot if you had the side angle here. You can also go for the lower side armor, because on this corner here, you'll see that it's also immune. It's not that easy of a tank to kill. I'd recommend going for this lower side armor if you have a side shot at this kind of angle. If we go to the side here, this area here is angled, as you can see from this angle. This basically means that your 88mm doesn't necessarily have a guaranteed chance of going through there. You can either go through the side of the turret, which is actually a pretty good shot, or you can also go for the lower side armor, which is more likely to one-shot the vehicle because the breach won't be in the way. Now, if we go from the rear, the back of the turret is very vulnerable. I believe there's always going to be ammo there, so if you hit that, you're probably going to kill the tank. You can also go for the engine first if you want to do that, but it might just be a better idea to go for the ammo in the back of the turret. So I'm going to go for the next vehicle and line up the IS-3, actually. Go back into protection analysis, back to Germany. Then we're going to go to rank 4 once again. We'll go to Tiger 2H. There we go, Panzergranate 3943. This vehicle has stronger armor than the IS-6 from the front. There's not that many weak spots. This looks like it's a weak spot on the armor viewer, but that ain't doing much. This area is normally a weak spot in vehicles, but it's such a small target and it won't do very much damage. There's one here, if you get at the specific angle. I think I just missed it. That's just how small of a weak spot it is, so it's not really a weak spot, is it? So you could also go for the cupolas in the top, but this one on the right is a little easier to hit, but not all the time it's going to fuse the ammo. So basically funnily immune to crew compartment damage, so the thing you can do, go for the gun like usual, and tracks. From the side, I'm going to have to go back here, disable external armor. One unique thing about the IS-3 and a few other Soviet heavy tanks is that their upper side armor is angled inwards. So, without this armor, without the armor viewer here, it looks like it's a good target to shoot. But if I go back to the armor without the externals on, that ain't going through. So you're better off going for the lower side armor, this band right here. So we go back to protection analysis, so I can get the Tiger 2s around again. And now that we're here, this is mostly a weak spot, as I mentioned. The turret is a bit trolly, because you'd think the side turret armor would be weak. It's not. The IS-3 has an incredibly well-armored turret. So again, your best bet from the side is to go for lower side armor. See, even the back of the turret, and maybe parts of the cupola are weak to the long 88, but IS-3, not that easy from up there. lower side armor here. From the rear, back of the turret. Just like with the IS-6. It's always going to have ammo here. That's where all the projectiles are stored, so you have a better chance of setting this thing off. So now we go for the IS-4. This thing is probably the best armored of all the heavy tanks that I've shown so far. Back here, go back to the Tiger 2. There is one weak spot that this thing has, but it's pretty small. And it's this driver's hatch right here. Imagine trying to hit this thing at decent range. You're probably not going to be able to do it. If you do, you've been pretty lucky. But then again, if you have this thing at an angle, it's not really going to go through. Even the turret is mostly immune to the long 88 from this angle. Your side armor is too. If they're angled like this, you don't really have that great of a chance of killing this guy. Best thing you can do is shoot him in the gun shield here, or the gun barrel, which is actually an easier target to hit. Tracks again. Okay, from the side. It's similar shape to the IS-6, but this upper side armor, it's quite strong. You may go through, you may not. The turret side is basically immune. So you imagine IS-6, but with more armor, slower reload, and a slower tank overall. But you can go for this lower side armor here. The armor view is kind of bugging out on me, but if you go just around this track covering here, you're more than likely going to penetrate the tank and kill him. If we go for the rear here, interestingly enough, even the rear of the IS-4's turret is fairly well protected against the long 88, besides this band here. And even that band's not all that easy to hit from range. So your best bet might actually be to go for the engine first. It's an extremely heavily armored vehicle. Okay, another question that I was asked is how do you defeat the Leopard 2s of the 2S38? So I'll go through the main versions of Leopard 2s here to show what you can do against them. We'll go for the tech tree one here. Protection analysis. Go for USSR. Let's see if I can find the 2S38. There it is. Alright. So we're going to go with the KE long rod around here. Now, if I remember correctly, there's just a few areas you can go through the front here, like the lower front plate here. Your best bet might actually be just going for the gun. You have a high rate of fire, so you can risk going for a few shots to kill that thing. There's a sliver of a chance you can go through here, but the way that the gun, this area here is modeled, it's quite difficult to go through. If a Leopard gives you any sort of angle, though, he becomes quite vulnerable against your round. So, with a high rate of fire of the 2S38, you can quickly kill these even if they give you a slight bit of a side angle. Another thing you can do if you have the side of them is switch to your APHE round, and this thing will quickly chew up any Leopard in the game, even the ones with spall liners. Okay, so that would be Leopard 2A4, so we'll go for the Leopard 2A5 next, because the 6 has the same armor. Leopard 2A5 has an even stronger hold than the A4. Let's go back here, go back to the 2S38. Interestingly enough, this area here is weak. So it's actually a little easier to take out the gun breach on a Leopard 2A5 than it is on a Leopard 2A4. Interesting. There's a small chance if you go low enough, you might actually do enough spalling to kill some of the crew. Need some water. Okay. You can also go for the lowest of the low side armor. You might get the ammunition there if a Leopard 2 player actually has it. But once again, like with the Leopard 2 A4, you need to go for a side shot. So the best thing you can do is actually go for the gun first, then go for the side with your long road round. And if you have a much better side armor, side aspect here, you go for APHE again. It'll probably one-shot the vehicle. From the side, the 2S38 kills just about every MBT in the game. With ease. Leopard 2 A7V. I don't actually have this one. But same story as a Leopard 2 A5. I'll go ahead and show it. The lowest side armor is vulnerable. Again, you just want to shoot underneath the gun. It's probably the easiest way to disable his gun breach. Even from a decent angle, you might be able to get that through. There's also a chance you can go through the driver's hatch. With the amount of spam you can do with this 2S38, you might be able to get a few shots in like that. Best thing you can do, again, disable the gun, go for the side armor. With the spall liner here, it is a little bit harder to get the other crew members, but with the reload rate of the 2S38, that's not that much of a problem. You can just spam his side to destroy his ability to fight back. I'll also go with the Swedish Leopard 2s because they're a little different in armor. CRV 132. Same story. Still Leopard 2, just slightly different armor on this thing. So you can tell it's same vulnerabilities as the other Leopard 2s. Get the side, he's done. Alright. Another thing I wanted to show is how ammo count can affect your survivability in battle. So I'm going to go with a premium Tiger 2 here. And I'm going to go with a full ammo load. In the test drive. Alright, so with a full ammo load, this thing is just chocked up with ammo. If anyone decides to go for your side armor, you're probably gonna die. So, don't anger your hull too much if you take full ammo. I wouldn't even recommend going to full ammo. You face stuff like the M50s or anything with heat, they're likely to one-shot you because you have so much ammo in. So let's see a way we can fix that and still have a decent amount of ammo left. When you take a look at the X-ray on this here vehicle, you'll notice that this first stage ammo is 22 rounds. Whenever you first start the game, you have a round in the chamber. So that means you can take 23 rounds in the battle, and you only have your first stage ammo rack full. So I'll do this again, but with 23 rounds of ammo, just to show you. Alright, now we're here. So you can tell, you no longer have ammo on the side. Your side turret's still vulnerable. So you're probably best off not showing your side armor. Tiger 2's kind of weird shaped turret here, how it angles into the sides. It actually makes it pretty easy to go through this armor, being that it's only 80mm thick. And you'll find that with 23 rounds of ammo in game, you don't really run out of ammo that often. I think the next thing I can do is show off some of the features we have in game with AGMs, and specifically that I like using the weapon selector to use this. So I'm going to take off in the A-10. I'm going to shoot the ground targets and maybe some of the boats. I have my weapon selector set up as a 2 key, and that'll show up right here. Alright, I got that switched to the AGM-65Bs, and now I gotta wait for takeoff. For any of you are wondering, I'll do some gameplay at the end of the stream, probably halfway through. We'll see what happens. But while we're here let me see if I can find it. Can't quite remember what this thing is called. It's for setting a designated point. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I remember playing some of the early French vehicles. The guns on them aren't very good, and the armor's not that great either. Let's see if I can find this control here I was looking for. It's for designating a point. I don't... Let's see here. Oh yeah, there we go. Activate target point. You can use this to actually guide your TV-guided missiles in a little easier, because you don't have to try to find stuff. So let me show you this. So I'll point it towards the AI over here. You see this is selected. Whenever I go into the view for the AGM, you'll notice it's pointed there. This makes it a lot easier than trying to traverse to find stuff. I launch that off. It's going to go for that AA over there, and it's going to kill him. There we go. Alright, now that you mentioned the early French vehicles, let me go take a look at them. I haven't played these things in a long time. Mainly because they're not very good. Let's see here. H-35. Let's look at some other vehicles that are close to his BR. At least is what ammo that they have. I'll go with Germany. Let's see how weak this thing is. Oh yeah. And it's been a while since I've used these. As a matter of fact, I'll go with the opposite situation. I'll look at the Panzer IIIs. Go over to France. If I remember correctly, these things don't even do that much damage. Yeah. That's the main problem. So I think with these, best thing you can do is try disabling his crew, and if you are aiming very specifically at the vehicles. Probably the best thing you can do here is use the X-ray view and look at every single tank that your early French tanks can see, and see where you can shoot them to disable those valuable crew members. I think the next thing that I can look at is some radar stuff, specifically with the F4S. It's got a pretty neat feature. Fortunately, this is a premium. I'll take off, it'll make it a little easier to show. Now, while these pulse Doppler Phantoms do have pulse Doppler, you'll notice you can see interference in the bottom. And the fact is, this is actually a velocity search mode, which is actually quite interesting. The scale that you see here is on velocity, meaning that you can't really tell how far the target is until you lock it. It also makes locking specific vehicles or specific planes a little bit harder if you do it just on the sight. So I can keep switching here, and you have this HMD pulse Doppler. This is one of the lowest BR vehicles that actually has a helmet-mounted designator. No, I won't be able to see him with that mode, but if I go with the HMD, the normal track mode, I can easily lock onto him without pointing my plane at him. I'm going to fly a bit further away, because there's another feature with this radar in pulse Doppler mode for the head-on mode, or the helmet-mounted display mode. I have to get some sufficient distance. It's related to the fact that the scale on the left, or right, has a range in velocities instead of a range in distances. I might be able to get a lock on from the rear. The problem with head-on modes is, again, they don't lock that well from the rear. See if I'll be able to get a lock on this guy. No. There we go. And then I'll try going even further away. Drop these bombs. Radar is pretty complicated in War Thunder. And I don't really think it's explained all that well. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be mentioned about it. I'll see in the future if I can make some content about understanding how radars work a bit more, especially pulse Doppler. Let's see here, I think I am far enough away. No, I'm not. Well, anyway, the gist of it is that this thing, with the helmet mode, display mode, and pulse Doppler, if they're facing you head on, you can get locks out to like 30 kilometers. And the last radar feature that I want to show today is that head-on radar modes actually have considerably longer range than your all-aspect ones. I need to do a test flight here to show that off. Now that I'm in this match, I'll be able to show this off as soon as I get to high altitude. Fun fact about the F-15, it has the highest thruster-weight ratio in the game. I'm not going to be able to show this off just yet, because I don't really have the right fuel load to show off just how good it is. You can also change the radar range. Let's see if I can show that. Yes, you can change the scale. I have it set to N. This allows you to lock targets that are actually further than your default scale size. It's also how I show off the head-on mode is actually longer range than the all-aspect one. I'm going to go to max range for this. Less shallow an angle so I can keep my speed. I'm going to point my radar down slowly, slightly. See if I can find something by switching the modes. Yep, there we go. So you can tell, you can actually see something way out there in head-on mode. But if I switch back to search pulse Doppler, he's invisible. Go back to head-on mode. He should pop up again. Yep, there he is. Visible. And another neat thing about pulse Doppler velocity is that it will have an even further range than just a head-on mode. While it can detect these F-104s out there, they're a pretty small radar signature, meaning that it's not all that easy to actually see them, or lock them, so you're within 80 kilometers. Larger aircraft, you'll actually be able to lock from much larger ranges. Alright, so that's all for the head-on mode. Now let's take another look at another heavy tank that is very unfriendly to Tiger IIs. This one, I'll go with the premium one, because it has a higher rate of fire than the T-34. Let's see here. Here it is, the T-29. If you've played a Tiger II, you're probably familiar with this vehicle. It does have a few weak spots you can exploit in your Tiger II, if you're lucky enough for a T-29 to show it. So, I just need to get over here and go to Germany again. We have in rank 4. Tiger 2H. Alright, so first things first, this MG port, quite vulnerable to long 88, even though it says 240 millimeters. You get that shot in, you're going to do quite a bit of damage. The barrel, end of the barrel is quite large, and that's what on the T-29, so it's not that hard to disable the gun. Lower glacis, watch out. The middle part is actually well angled. You want to go for the sides here next to the wheels. This isn't as angled, and your 88's more likely to go through. Another weak spot a T-29 has, you can use at close range, is just above the gun mount lip. Although not all the time it's going to do that much damage. From a side angle, it's not that hard to go through the turret as long as you stay near the gun shield. Lower side armor, aim right there, and most of them are going to have ammo there. You're going to blow that guy up. Of course, for the T-29, you don't really want to expose your turret to this thing. The T-29 will blow you up if it hits you in the turret face. Alright, so that's all the information that I have for now. I'll go ahead and go with some gameplay then. I'm going to go with a... if you started later in War Thunder's life, you probably don't have these vehicles. I just need to find the lineup. There we go. I didn't even have it named. See if I can add an aircraft here of a suitable VR. We'll go with the two-barreled T-62. There you go with the Panther 2. Panther 2, one of the reasons it's not in game is that the turret configuration never actually existed. The Tiger 2 H105, it was only ever a drawing. Didn't even make it to mock-up stage. That's why this thing was taken away from the game. So let's get into the match. Another thing about these vehicles is that they're 7-0, meaning that they are less favorable matchups than with your Tiger 2H. So now with LLM in, I'm just going to see if I can capture B. We'll see what happens. Just be glad to know that, like with the other German tanks in this BR, you have smoke grenades. These are quite useful. I'm going to follow this road and make sure these flanks are clear, and then I'll probably overbleed. Let's see how this goes. I might just die at the start. Another thing about the Panther 2 is that it actually has a usable reverse, unlike the other Panthers. It's also just more mobile. Another funny feature about this thing is that you have night vision, not only for the commander and the driver. You can see their devices on the vehicle. Kind of unfortunate if they removed it, but their standards changed. But at the same time, they're not just going to remove vehicles from people's lineups. Sounds like people are already up here. I know waiting this artillery strike to be done, that's to not be spotted. Okay, first thing I gotta check. Is anybody up there? I can hear something. Let's put a ping on this. I suspect there's a vehicle waiting. Yep, there he is. Hellcat. He's not dead yet. Now he's dead thanks to the M41. If I could just drive without hitting stuff. I hear an American engine somewhere over there. One important thing about War Thunder is that you really need to get your sound settings right. You can set your own engine sounds pretty low, and you can set your other player engine sounds all the way up, and you'll start hearing stuff you haven't before. It's very convenient to take advantage of that. Hopefully this guy understands why I'm going to do this. Just in case anybody comes down there, they can't just shoot us immediately. Now that that's taken care of, I don't want to go straight through there, because I heard something that could have been on the flank. See if I can use my ears to locate them. Okay, that's a friendly IS-3. Looks like I'm having some really bad ping. It's not good. 700? It's gonna make it hard to play. What's going on here? Okay, it looks like that's done. Great. Looks like we're mostly pushing towards their spawn. Let's see if I can get... Okay. Artillery piece. He didn't go through me. I got his gun barrel. I thought I heard something. Let's do that just so I can make sure nobody's gonna spot me while I repair. Somebody shot me right through the rangefinder. Jesus. And with APCR, if you can see that hit mark. That's probably why I'm not dead. I wonder if that was a bulldog. My guess is that this guy is up there. Yes, he is. No. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Let's see if I can troll this guy. Didn't work out well as planned. Guess I'll switch over to the other one that you can't have. The Tiger 2105. Oh, a misplay on me. One thing about the bigger gun, the 105, is that it's a little bit harder to have a good amount of ammo on the back of the turret. That, and you always have ammo on the sides because your projectiles are in the turret instead of on a... because it's two-piece ammunition. The one part that sucks about dying is that you have to go all the way back to the battle.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
This thing here is a T-95. Being... oh, no, it was an M109. Interesting. I figured with as many times it's been hit, it might have been a T-95, but I was wrong. Another fun thing about these Panther 2 and the Tiger H, or the Tiger 105s, that they're both more mobile than their Tech Tree or premium versions. Okay, thanks to him spotting, I know that there's an M41 over here. Let's see if I can get him. I'd actually argue that this thing is worse than the Tech Tree Tiger 2 because the rate of fire on the 105. It's quite slow in comparison. Okay. You're not going to be able to get away from me. At least his gun is off. Hello. Okay, that's just a propeller engine that I can hear. See if I can see any enemy tanks out there. People keep pinging A, but I don't see anything.
Attack the A point.
Well, you guys can go have fun attacking the A point. I don't think I'll be doing that. I think most of the action's over by the northern spawn. Hi, if you have any gameplay questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try my best to answer them. I'll probably demonstrate them after this match if you ask it soon enough. The only thing I'm seeing is this plane. I'm just glad he doesn't see me. So their spawn is back there. Oh, here a tank. That would be something, yes. A dead something. Had to be fast. He's dead. Well, I know I hear something over there. I think it might be the M47. Somebody called an artillery strike. It might have been from your respawn of an M41. I can hear something moving. See if I can get in this ambush position. Oh, he's behind me. I'm going to try blocking off this side path. It's just a Sherman. See if I can push through my own smoke so that Sherman can't see me. Okay, that is not good. That's an AA. Oh no. You screwed up. Oh, it's an M56. And I'm finally dead. Switch over to the rare two. No, too many. Switch over to flag 341. This is another discontinued vehicle. I believe it's because this only had a wooden turret. Don't quote me on that. Wasn't too bad of a match. And one thing I want to try, some of the recently released Centurions. Yes, the Centurion Mark II. This thing's a bit of a funny vehicle. Was it 6'3"? Just like when the 20-pounder Centurions were at 6'3". This thing still gets up-tiered. Or it's still at its BR increase because Centurions are built different. So let's see how I can do in this thing. The main thing that makes this thing so good is the fact that it's got that 2-point stabilizer and 17-pounder. It's got some decent penetration. You can put APDS on it too, which means you can defeat Panthers, Tiger 2s from the front. Let's see what we can do here. I'm not top tier, but I think I can still handle it.
Into your vehicle. Ready up. Driver ready. Gunner ready. Loader ready.
The one thing I don't really like about the Centurions is that their top speed isn't all that great. It's a small price to pay for the advantages you get from that stabilizer. Another fun thing with this thing with 6'3" is that sometimes you go against 76mm armed Shermans, and from the front, you'll find the Centurion, because it was designed to defeat the short 88 on the Tiger 1, is quite resistant to the 76mm on the American vehicles. So back when this thing was 6'3", and you got down to a 5-3 match, you kept your front towards the enemy. There wasn't all that much they could do if they didn't know about this weak spot underneath the gun shield. And even then, it's a pretty small target to hit. You have to be close up to do it reliably. I don't think I quite want to go up there because there's not an easy way to escape. Like being lower where people are not easily able to see you, and that Walker Bulldog, because he went up there, gets killed by another Walker Bulldog. Good job to that guy. You want to die quickly? Go up in high places like he did. As you can see here, the Centurion does have a commander's sight, and it's actually got really good zoom on it. Okay, there's a Tiger 1.
12 o'clock. Range 600.
One-shot kill. I don't think he saw that one coming. Another kill.
Target destroyed.
There's just something about the 17 pounder that I like so much. See if I can get one more shot in.
Target hit. Armor piercing. Loaded. Target hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke up so they can't see how I'm reversing. That guy thought he could get me through that smoke. Little did he know, I was much further behind. This is how you can use smoke more effectively. Don't do it whenever you're immobilized. I also wouldn't recommend staying in one position very long. Let me get reversed again, because that's... Yep. I knew that was coming.
Loot armor piercing.
Another fun thing you can do, as you notice I have smoke rounds. If you see somebody in a strong position and you can't dig him out, you can always just fire a smoke round in his direction. If you get that smoke round placed right in front of him, that basically nullifies his spot for a temporary amount of time. It's quite effective. Now let's make sure I'm not doing something stupid. Just glad that Ferdy didn't see me. Okay, that's probably the gunner I just killed.
Armor piercing loaded.
See if I can get another one threaded in. Nope. Backing up.
Armor piercing loaded.
Is it the dead tiger? Oh! There's a target. Tiger 2.
Loot armor piercing.
I'm gonna wait on him to go past there. Let me get a range. Oh. There we go. Somebody who took ammo in the hole. That's why you don't do it. Because people like me and the Centurions will hit you there and you'll die. Granted, tanks with sufficient APHE filler will also one-shot you. But there's tanks like the Centurion. They don't have that. It's a very important thing to do, is to not take full ammo on your Tiger 2. Okay. Enemy's been spotted over there. I don't think I have a good sight angle on him. Okay, it's a friendly plane. I wonder if that Ferdinand's back. There goes my connection again. Hopefully that's not very consistent. Hopefully it doesn't do that very much tonight. See if I can see anything. Oh! There's a vehicle down there. Make that too. Looks like one of them Japanese are thingies. M36. I think I have enough time here. Ooh, that's one of them recoilless rifle things. I can hear him over there, but I cannot see him. There's another Tiger 2 crossing the river. Let's punish him for this. Wonder if he is also carrying full ammo like the last one. I'm not gonna expose myself whatsoever as to not give my position away to that one guy. Okay, there's the Tiger 2. Are you carrying full ammo? No, you're not. This is actually a smart Tiger 2 player, so what we do here is aim for this back of the turret. Kaboom. You ever catch a Tiger 2 and his turret sides angle you like that? Shoot it. He's gonna go boom every time. At least he played his vehicle right. He just didn't know I was there. See, I'm not finding any more targets, so I might stay here just for a little while. Oh, target ridgeline. Seems to be one of those. Okay, I missed. I need to shorten it up a little bit. Okay, that got his transmission. See if I can give him another one. Kaboom. Look, I'm not even top tier, but I'm top of the team. This thing is great. Even after they moved it up to 6.7. There's just something about a stabilized, high-penetration gun that the British made. It works very well. By the way, that artillery piece, I noticed him very quickly because he poked above a ridge way back in the back. We call it skylining. It makes you very easy to see. I wouldn't recommend going over ridges like that guy did. Always try to follow low terrain. Okay, that's a 30, I'm guessing 600. Yep. Took out his cooler. Wonder if he even knows it's the same guy shooting. There's an M41 around somewhere. Another important lesson with tanks is to never expose yourself unless you're about to take a shot. Stealth is much more important than armor. As you may have heard a lot on some television shows, surprise is an extremely valuable thing to have. If you're unaware of a target, how can you possibly know where to point your armor? I think that might be that recoilless rifle thing. Okay. I wonder where that Tiger 2P is. Tiger 2P is almost as good as the Tiger 2H. Except for the turret. Just that high rate of fire. The rate of fire on the long 88 is what makes the dang thing so good. Okay, this Type 60 might not see it. There we go. The biggest advantage of the stabilizer is it reduces your time for engagements. You don't have to sit and wait for the gun to stabilize. I don't have visual on that target. Say we're doing quite well. Let's see how close we are to it. 1,000 points away. Might not get it. Okay, there's a Tiger 2P. Oh my. You can't get me!
Armor piercing loaded.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Huh. Really? You're just gonna completely forget about the fact that I was here.
Target hit. Armor piercing loaded.
Okay, looks like he's dead.
Armor piercing loaded.
One annoying thing about the 17-pounder APDS is that it's not very accurate, which is why I have some solid shot. Wait, I think I can hear another... Okay, sir. Let's see here, state of the game. There's a Ferdinand over there, I have 7 kills. I think that Ferdinand's maybe at 900. Pretty close to it. He just fired, so I can probably shoot at him again.
Armor piercing loaded.
If I can just get this thing lined up. Okay, hit the target. I'm gonna... No, don't have the time.
Armor piercing loaded.
Yeah, if I push back out, he's probably gonna kill me.
Attention to the designated grid square.
Target direct.
I got one more try.
Got deployed.
Inaccuracy trolled me there.
Armor piercing loaded.
Can't quite tell what that thing is. Kaboom. Had this been any tank without a stabilizer, that would have not been possible.
Attention to the map. The enemy is winning. Attention to the designated grid square.
Another kill. Incredibly close to the nuke, but the AO was hot. I think I'd be able to get it off.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Okay, there's a light tank there. Let's see if I can get a better angle on him.
Attention to the map.
I'd love to help you, but I can't.
Request target for airstrike.
Oh, he's screwed. Another Type 60.
Armor piercing loaded. Target destroyed.
Huh. Getting rather close to that nuke.
Armor piercing loaded.
Ah.
Loader unconscious.
Didn't even follow my own rule. Stayed out too long. Oh man. Yeah, there goes my chances. Looks like I could spawn in the Spitfire.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
We're losing.
Because what better of a plane to take out these Germans than this? Alright, again, I had the... I was doing a few gameplay tips at the start, but if you have any questions, I can answer them now. Okay, that's a jet. This might be bad. Okay, I managed to avoid that guy. And being in a Griffin engine Spitfire, he's definitely better off running.
I agree. Thanks.
If I recall correctly, he does have a pretty good head-on. But not as good as mine. Unfortunately, you could have spawned in this thing. Hey, Wolfpack, thanks. Let me know if you have any gameplay questions. I had them for about 25 minutes to start. Or ones that were asked for me before. So now I'm just doing gameplay to go for the full 90 minutes. Okay, there's an anti-air to my right. Might be an R3. Or whatever that thing's called. I'm probably gonna have to land here real quick. Also, thanks for congratulating me on 400 subs, Wolfpack.
We're winning.
How's War Thunder been treating you? I think I do have slow chat on, don't I? I'm gonna go for the landing approach. Being that we have as many players left, I can probably just skid land this. This is one of the things you can do to land much quicker, as long as you do this safely. Go slow. If you tried landing normally, this would take a lot longer. One thing about this is that you'll want to have good crew skills, because more damage means more repair time. He's in the T-28. That's why he's saying that.
Attention to the map.
Now, I know they had more planes than that, so I'm going to see if I can kill them.
Our victory is near.
No way I can get a nuke. Unless magically those planes come back and I manage to kill them all. Wait, I see one up there. See if I can kill him. Well, chances are, with as much energy as he started out with, I might not be able to catch up to him. We'll see. As long as he's not paying attention. I'll climb above him. Wonder if he even knows I'm here. Put my engine throttle down, so he might not be able to hear me. It doesn't always work. Yeah, I need speed because he's running toward his airfield. Or not, he's turning now. I'm actually going to go outside his turn so I can get a better aspect to kill him.
Attention to the map.
I really don't want to... I don't like going for high aspect shots. I'm a Griffin engine Spitfire, so I am faster than a Focke-Wulf. Okay, he's probably going to do a zigzag or something. Let me just slow down my approach rate. He's probably going to cross in front of my guns here. Do a bit of a high yo-yo here. Get a much better angle on this guy. Looks like he hit the ground. How unfortunate. I'm not just going to let him live. Let's see. Oh, still not there. I wonder if there's any tanks here that I can kill with guns. Oh! Got a little too high. Airfield A is a bit deadly. Okay, there's a vehicle there. Maybe I can farm some spawn points to see if I can get a nuke. Oh, there's a light vehicle there. See if I can get this guy. Yes, I did. Oh, too short. My bad. No, I'm not going to return to hangar. Let's go back in the Centurion.
Attention to the map.
Yeah. I screwed that one up, but we won the match. Yeah, I could definitely do that. I've played since 2013, so I do have a lot of experience of dogfighting. I think one of the things I could have done against that Focke-Wulf was maybe slow down a little bit so I could stay behind him instead of having to do the high yo-yo. But the high yo-yo is there, just in case you're about to overshoot. It worked out pretty well in that situation. And I don't know if you have the opportunity to do it, but the Centurion Mark II is an excellent vehicle. This match I got 168,000 lions. I have a premium account though. I'm not sure if you do. I think perhaps the most important thing to know with dogfighting is that you need to know the vehicle you're up against. Let's say, for example, you're going against something like a Zero. Let's just go with maybe not that Zero. We'll go with this one. I'll take a test flight on it just to show. As known in real life, the Zero has an excellent turn rate. While it's also quite speedy at lower BRs, when you compare it to later aircraft, it's actually not all that fast. It's one of the reasons that the US was able to get away with boom and zooming his aircraft, because if you're going fast enough, you don't actually have to turn that much to adjust while they're turning. I don't have somebody I can show that with right now, but let me get some speed up so I can just show the agility on this thing. I think that should be enough. I think you'll find that only biplanes can really outturn this thing. So if you ever face a Zero, try not turn fighting with it. But since you're here, are there any planes that you're struggling with or want more information on? I'm not sure how much the delay is on the stream, so I'll wait for a bit. I guess while I wait, I can try this. You know, I know an even better way to do this. I'll try. Oh, I don't even have the GBU8s. Never mind. I want to use the F-15 though. Well, the F-15A and C are known to be air superiority fighters. At least the A version did have the secondary ability to carry ground ordnance, which is why it has in game. I don't think that the C has the ability to, though. Don't quote me on that. Another thing is that the F-15J that the Japanese has is actually an F-15C. Fair enough, Wolfpack. School's very important. Probably more important than this game. Good luck with that. Anyway, this is actually an older sound, but I didn't discover it until now. It came from, I think it was a Silent Thunder event. Let's see if I can bomb one of these PT boats to get the sound to happen. Trying to see if I can get a good angle in on here, that way I don't blow myself up doing this. I have a contact fuse set. Looks like I missed. Let's try again.
Sam, 12 o'clock. Hi. Pull up.
I'm probably gonna get hit. But if you heard closely after I got hit, that explosion sound was at least satisfying. I'm also missing the horizontal stabilizer, now that I've done that.
Altitude.
Thanks to the way the F-15 is designed, it can withstand that fairly well.
Pull up.
Honestly, quite a cool sound. I'll also ask this Wolfpack, is there a specific BR for aircraft that you would be wondering about? Oh, I have an idea. I'm not sure how many people actually know about this. Probably a lot do, but they don't use that feature. The mission editor. It's how I like doing some of my vehicle testing. It's just something you can do in your pastime. The only thing is you don't get any rewards for it. P38K is actually one of the P38s that isn't easily attainable. It's open every now and then, and one thing about this aircraft is that it has the most powerful engines of any P38, meaning that you can climb at a 30-degree angle without losing that much speed. It's kind of the P38 on steroids. I believe that the Q-27s will be more maneuverable than P-38s. But because these are AI, it may not be the best representation, but I'll see what I can do here. The only problem with the P-38K is that, unlike some variants of the P-38 in-game, this does not have the air brake, meaning its extra speed can also hamper you. Alright. Anyway, thanks for the video suggestion. I'll probably do something like that soon. I have some plans for the next few weeks, so it might be a little while. Okay, I know this AI might shoot me. If that was a player, I would have been dead. Let's see here. Took his wingtip off, and now I'm just going to zoom away. I just have one video that performed well, and I have another one coming out tomorrow. It's basically an all-improved style of video, so I'm trying to see if that one will do good. I want to get more people, that way I can answer more questions. Whenever I start these, there's 0. But that's fine, I can always come up with stuff. Standard boom and zoom. There's another way that I don't test too much to do boom and zoom, but these AI won't let me do this. If the player's not paying attention, you don't have to just do high aspect shots in boom and zoom. You can fly directly behind them, then it gives you a much better shot. You have more time on target whenever you fire at them. Again, it's something you can only really do if they're not paying attention. Now, I do know that I might have a better climb rate, but my speed's not all that great on this thing. Fortunately, this AI is not all that great, so I'll just run away from him. Anyway, those 2 examples are a little bit of boom and zoom. I don't have cooperating stuff. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I guess I could do one last match in the Type 10, because it's actually one of my favorites now that I've gotten this thing. And I might be able to show some things you can do in gameplay with this thing. Unfortunately, because I got the Japan map, it may not be all that easy. One thing about top-tier tanks is that engagement times are quite small, meaning that small mistakes will get you killed very quickly. Basically, in this game, the higher BR you go, the less mistakes you can make without dying. And it's all because the time it takes for somebody to see you, shoot you, penetrate you, and kill you is so much shorter. That and people are generally more skilled at that point. But I'll see what I can do here. I'm not really a top-tier master. I'm more rank 4 or 5. Well, I do love the Type 10 because of that 4-second reload. This guy will let me through. No. That's fine, though. Looks like most of our team is going towards A and B. We'll see what happens here. Behind much slower vehicles. I don't know why I forgot which side of the map I'm on. I played this game for so many years, and yet I do that. I don't know why I thought it was on the other side of the map. Okay, based on our team's position, there may not be that many people in the 5-6 line. We'll see. Let's check some ridge lines to see if there's any pokers. Use my command thermals for this. That way I don't expose my tank. Whatever you do in top tier, don't just stick your turret above a ridge, at least just make it to where your optics are low. That way if you do get hit, you don't get killed. Yeah, I'm not quite... Oh! Vehicle there. And dead. Just like that, one small mistake. You mean the strategic bomber, correct? I think the whole reason that they haven't added stuff like that in B-52 is that it just wouldn't work all that well in game. I mean, I've talked with a few other people, and what might be appropriate is a separate game mode. And I always thought that was an interesting idea. That must be that Abrams that I've already killed. I don't remember what the event was called, but way back, there was an event where it was the Germans versus the Americans, and it was basically bombers versus fighters. And that was actually a fairly fun game mode. Mind you, back then it was still propeller engine stuff. And we have the B-29 in game, which is the biggest of the propeller engine bombers that the US made that we have in game. That should get his gun. Yes, it did. Now he's dead. Praising the 4-second reload on the Type 10. What is that? Oh, it's already dead. That's why. Let's see. Okay, that was a ricochet. I'm not entirely sure why it's my reaction to immediately go out of gunner's view whenever I shoot. I think it's just a psychological thing, because a lot of other people do the same thing. It's not really necessary. Another important thing about vehicles is to not stay in gunner's view for too long. If you look at our mini-map here, the areas where you see it's brighter, that's your field of view. You can actually see what your field of view is when you go into gunner mode. It's significantly smaller. That means that you'll have less opportunities to see tanks on your sides. So it's important to not stay in that mode unless you're trying to acquire people at distance. Another useful case for thermals is that you can see people through bushes a lot easier. A lot of people don't like Gen 1 thermals, and a lot of the American tanks have them. The best way you can use them is not have them on during normal play, but if you think there might be people in tree lines or bush lines, you should go ahead and turn the thermals on to search through that, and then you can turn it off afterwards. The other thing about thermals is that none of the time it's as high contrast as visual. Or, not visual, but the visual spectrum. So the IR spectrum that thermals have. like for... Okay, sir. Too bad about the Type 10 doesn't have that good of a traverse. I should be dead. But he didn't know where to aim. Another fun thing about the Type 10 is that it doesn't have composite armor on the side of the turret. Those are just storage bins. The reason is that the Type 10 actually has more frontal armor, but in a smaller area. I forgot to thank that guy, whoops. But in a smaller area than the Type 90. This is all just to save weight. I think there's another vehicle over there. Also, just for your information, I will try to keep these streams 90 minutes. But again, I'm over it right now because I'm at a match. Oh. Where was that? Probably from the spawn, though. That is dead now. The nice thing about the Type 10 is it has superb reverse speed. I think it has the same reverse speed as forward. Alright. That's the end of that match. And that is also the end of the stream. Alright, Wolfpack, since you're watching, have a great night and good luck with school, man.